Welcome to the Small Business Big Visibility Podcast. I'm Jason McKenzie, and I'm super excited to introduce Sandra Daffer, owner of Hawaiian Built Roofing. She runs a roofing company in Boise, Idaho that specializes in residential and commercial roofing. Sandra, why don't you tell us a little bit about your business?
Hi everybody, so my name is Sandra and the company name is Hawaiian Built Roofing. We've been in business for 20 years. We do residential and commercial roofing, and up until maybe the last couple of years it was just my husband and I running the company, and now we're really happy and fortunate that our children are helping us with the business as well. So right now we've got 2 of our own kids in the business as well as a daughter-in-law that helps us out.
Fantastic. That's some pretty good growth over the last couple of years. So you say you've been in business for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that journey. When did you start and how did you get into it?
Well, we started because we had to get out of the state of Oregon. It was a lot of rain, and when your husband is from Hawaii, they're really not happy when they're dealing with a lot of rain. So we did some research and someone said you should move to Idaho, and I was like, where is Idaho? And I remember he pointed that way, and we were like, okay, that is the destination that we have to go to. So one year, it was about March, and we took a trip out here, and we honestly fell in love with the city, with the growth, with the state, and we decided to move here. So we moved here, and it was for him to work for another big commercial company, but that didn't work out, and we just kind of realize what we want to do and how to get things started. And being self-employed was never in my radar to really think about it, but I saw the need and I saw the specialty that my husband had with his expertise of roofing, that I just knew we had to start our own company. We had to help people.
Gotcha. So really the heart of it is that idea of helping the individual, helping those.
Yeah, and it always has been that. And that's always been my downfall also, because anytime somebody needs something or somebody wants to have something done, I was always willing to do it. And there was many years where there really wasn't a big profit line at the end, but internally my heart was always happy because we had 1,000 customers that were happy with what we did, that couldn't have a solution if it wasn't for us helping them. So definitely we've always been in the people business. The roofing is just what comes after.
Absolutely. Totally understand that. Now, Sandra, you've been listening to the Small Business Big Visibility podcast. Has there been any episodes or any insights that have really stood out for you?
Yes, actually, we had everybody in the office listen to it, and we all kind of take our little nuggets, that I call it, to see what might be a good one. I think the one that stood out the most for me was, what do we offer? Yes, it's a roofing company. We do roofing. That's not the fun part about it. Mm-hmm. For me, the fun part is what comes afterwards. So your podcast that talks about what you offer in addition to roofing is the one that helped me the most, because I thought, this is exactly what we do. We have a roofing company, we replace roofs, but after the roof is done, we have a maintenance plan. And then the maintenance plan comes in to step in to help with anything that might potentially be needed from the time that the roof is replaced to when a storm comes through, and now we can document it and help it. Additional offers with roofing, what could they potentially be? It's not the most fun tradesman of all, but having a maintenance plan, having inspections that come in afterwards, making them feel like they're part of our family and what we created is really what stood out to me in the podcast. And it dinged, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what we do, but I couldn't put it into words, I couldn't put it into paper, I couldn't really describe it. So your podcast has really helped me at least see the light.
Oh, fantastic. So building that community around this idea of offering service beyond just roof replacement, and continuing that relationship has really been a game changer, it sounds like.
I didn't want to be like, hey, your roof is done, see you in 30 years.
Sure.
I wanted to be, hey, your roof is done, we'll see you next year. Right. We'll see you in 6 months. We'll see you in 2 years. And that has helped us because homeowners don't just replace one roof. Sometimes they're going to replace 2 roofs. They're going to buy investment homes. They're going to have a rental. They're going to have kids that need roofing. And for them to say, I'm only going to go with your company, that makes it all the best for me.
Yeah, I could imagine that building that relationship with them where it goes from being the transaction to being this ongoing relationship where you can tell them, we've been here for 20, we're going to be here for longer than you need this roof. Mm-hmm. Let us make sure that what we built will last that whole time, probably is a game changer in the sales process too.
I love that part.
Yeah, I'd imagine, especially being a people person.
Yeah. Yeah, when they're like, my son needs a roof. Thank you. I love it. Please be my customer again.
Right.
I love it, yeah.
Well, good for you. Now, running a business is not an easy task. It's not for the faint of heart. And you being a business owner for over 20 years, I'd imagine there's some lessons, some really fun lessons and some really painful lessons that you've learned. Do you have any lessons you'd like to share?
Yes. Good lessons that I think could help anybody is when you start a business, you go into business because you have a passion to do what you want to do. You don't go into business because you have passion to run your QuickBooks, to run your numbers, to see the profitability, especially if your business is helping people. Sometimes that bottom line isn't the biggest thing to worry about. But it makes a difference year 5, year 10, year 15 if you continue with those types of thinking. So I would say hire a good bookkeeper so that you know where your numbers are at. It's great that you want to help people and do things for as little money as possible. I mean, we all try to do it at some point. But know where your numbers are at so that when year 5, year 10 comes through, you're not doing the same thing every year. Hire somebody to do the work that you don't want to do so that you can focus on what you do want to do. That's kind of been my biggest lesson because when you start in business and you're a small business owner, you have to do everything yourself. You're doing the marketing, the advertising, the bookkeeping, the bids,
every one of those hats,
everything.
Right? Yeah.
It's so much, and you get used to this. I can do it myself. I can do it myself. I can do it myself until you realize I don't want to do that. And you could have had the help 5 years ago if you just allowed someone to help you. So reach out for help when you need help.
That's a fantastic lesson. It makes business so much easier when you do.
Yeah, because you can focus on what you want to do and not, oh my gosh, did I get that report out? Yeah.
So at this point of the game, you're probably at a point where you're able to give back to other business owners and help them see pitfalls that they may be about to step into that you've experienced. Do you have any tips for maybe a newer business owner?
I really enjoy doing that. Once you get past the, oh my gosh, I know how to do this, and oh, this is so easy. I really, really like helping people. So tips for new business owners is don't give up. Sometimes you see your numbers and you're like, why am I even doing this? There's no money. There's a reason why you're doing it. Don't give up. Reach out for help when you need the help. Network. Like, we're about 18 years behind in networking is what I tell people. Networking has really changed our business, not only with the community that we want to be a part of, but being able to help any other small business as well.
Now, I'd imagine these newer business owners seeing someone like you who's really kind of at the top of your game. You've got employees, you've got the processes in place, everything's kind of just humming along. They probably feel like, oh my goodness, look at where she's at. But are there mistakes you've made along the ways?
Lots. Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of mistakes. Mistakes from obviously not charging enough money for the work and the craft that you do. Mistakes like taking somebody's word that they're going to do something but they don't. Mistakes of not wanting to get out of your realm. Sometimes you get so focused on, I'm just a roofer, I'm just a sider, I'm just a contractor, but you don't want to take on anything else because you don't want your name to be attached to it. And I learned a real good lesson where I had a homeowner who hired a siding company and paid all their money up front, and then she spent 2 years chasing them to even do the work. Wow. Had to sue, got nothing out of it, and that just hurts my heart because I was like, man, I could have done this for you. If it was a matter of doing the job that I kind of don't want to do, to allowing my homeowner to get taken for $12,000, I would have done it. So I've just kind of rethought of things of instead of telling people no, find a way to say yes. I will connect you to somebody. Mm-hmm. I will get someone for you. I can help you with that. And it's helped me develop myself as a better connector because I don't ever want to tell a customer no and then have that experience again. So a lot of lessons on things like that and opening more doors for yourself.
Yeah, I really like that idea that you're talking about where even if you don't offer that service, just making sure that you're in the field enough that you know who you can recommend people to, that's powerful for your customers.
Because now I have homeowners that call me 2 years later. Do you have a landscaper? Yes. And do you have a window person? Absolutely. Yes, I do. How did you know? So I like that part about it.
All right, before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts, words of wisdom, or maybe encouragement for small business owners today?
Encouragement for small business owners is keep going, find the people to help you so that you can succeed, and, have a great time at it, have fun.
Now, before we close, I wanted to also call out something that I've seen you do. Your ability to be involved both in the physical community, but also the digital community. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Definitely important to have a strong social media presence out there, but also a facial presence out there. At least that's what I found that has created a little bit more success for us this past year.
So being in the community, both online and in person, has made a huge difference in your business.
And also helping other businesses. Every now and then we'll give another company, some recognition on our own Facebook that says, hey, we trust this company, please use this company. They're going to take care of you. And I like being able to refer somebody that I know is going to take care of you. And eventually they refer you back. So it's definitely a two-way street. When you find somebody that is good, that has the same core values as you and your company, stick to that. Don't let that go. And
if people wanted to get a hold of you, how would they find you?
Facebook, you can do that, or you can call the office. It's 208-214-8808, and I have a beautiful staff that is waiting to answer all the phone calls that you might get. It's rainy season now, so you might need to have a roof inspection at some point. That's important, but we're always available to take on anybody's calls.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Sandra. It's been a pleasure being able to talk to you for just a minute, and I appreciate you taking the time to share all your tips with our listeners and viewers out there.
To our listeners, if you found value in today's episode, be sure to subscribe and share the Small Business Big Visibility podcast with your friends and family. Thanks for listening.